Smoking it up with Punkatron. What's the state of Polkadot right now?
You think about the 4 functional criteria of religion.
It has generated a community of believers. There's a sacred myth. Sacred myth is Gavin.
Yeah.
Yo, this motherfucker is building the future and I want in. Rites and rituals, things that we do, participating in AAG. And then number 4, the thing that holds it all together is community of believers.
Let's name people in the ecosystem who are the strong leaders.
The launch team wishes you good luck and Godspeed.
Space Monkeys, smoking it up with Punkatron. Mr. Ryan Haczynski, just finishing here in Las Vegas at Caesar's Palace. We're at the EVO conference. Nice of them to bring us in. Taking a well-deserved break before dinner. Thought we'd get a quick podcast in. Funky, welcome to the show.
No, my pleasure as always, my friend. It's always a joy and an honor to sit down and talk with you about Polkadot life and everything else.
It was a pretty good conference, I have to say.
I mean, honestly, just in terms of how many people it put us in touch with in the Cardano ecosystem.
Yeah.
And I like how they're trying to sort of open it up and make it a broader crypto conference, whereas the Cardano Summit will still be its thing, but then Rare Evo will be a conference that showcases all sorts of ecosystems. Everybody we met was super friendly, collaborative, very exciting.
The people who put it together, they run basically a validator on Cardano.
Yes,
if I understand
Rare.
correctly.
Yes, I saw Rare Stake, 3 years. I heard the ad, yes.
And they initially put this conference together just because they wanted to bring the Cardano community together. They suddenly decided, we got to open this up because they're thinking, not the tribalism thing. And so they reached out to Polkadot. There was a whole bunch of ecosystems there. So
yeah,
Multi-X was there.
Multi-X,
Solana,
Algorand's, yeah.
Abstract,
yeah.
Lots.
Great interview, right? You got a chance with Finn, so.
I did. I had a good interview with him. That's going to come up very soon. Check that out. Very good one. 2 things I noticed at this conference. 1, how welcoming everybody was and really interested to learn about Polkadot.
Yeah.
The other thing that was interesting is how much we have in common with Cardano as far as users go. Liquidity's an issue as well, just because they have a high staking TVL.
Yes.
A high staking rate.
Can't get DeFi.
Challenges with TVL.
Yeah.
And governance.
Oh man, governance.
You had a big talk with people about governance. What did you learn over there?
So shout out first and foremost to Danielle and Mark and Simon. We had a conversation for probably upwards 40 minutes. I don't know how long it was.
Yeah.
So they're on a mission to learn from other ecosystems how governance works and how it's enacted. What's really unique about the Cardano system is that across the last 18 months, they effectively created a constitution.
Yeah. They
have sort of this strange tripartite governance where you have one segment are the delegators. There's 126 of them. So people delegate their ADA to them to do the actual proposal review and voting.
Yeah.
So at middle ground in terms of centralization versus like pure chaos, like in Polkadot, where it's like everybody votes, everybody puts up whatever proposal you want, right?
Yeah.
1,700 proposals later, when I said that to people, they're like, what? Like,
What?
yeah.
I know.
What's interesting and what's hopeful, especially with your help, doing what we started kind of ideating right then and there about the possibility of having like a quarterly or whatever a symposium of getting like
people
various
together,
like
talk online,
get Algor in there, get anybody who's interested in like open chain governance and how it's working in their ecosystem to come talk about that experience. And if iron sharpens iron, right? Like we could just as easily make the argument that Polkadot decentralized too fast, right? And now we're all like finding our way and trying to kind of be productive with what we have in terms of resources and want to allocate that in meaningful ways. And it's energy in a system, right? Like we're talking about capping a system, right? And you want to contain that energy and use it productively. Jesus, sorry.
I got you. Yeah. You've been like traveling around the United States a lot. You're in DC. You're really active in Florida. What's your goal right now? Why are you moving around so much? Why are you putting on the suit? Who are you talking to? What kind of conversations are you having?
So that's my side job and labor of love, passion project. Art and Blockchain Education Initiative is the name of it. It's technically a nonprofit and it has to use its money. And so when they pitched the French government back in 2016 or whatever, what is your philanthropic aim? And it's to bring education about blockchain to people. A year ago, they got to the point where they said, okay, I think we really want to focus on schools. As a former teacher, I'll be the first to tell people that school is broken, right? That it's a 19th century model for 20th century factory employment.
Yeah,
it is not meant for a quarter of the way into the 21st century where people should be learning about blockchain and AI. So what we're trying to do is create content and curriculum that can be used to kind of just teach those kids the basics. Now the financial literacy stuff is even Web 2, I'm talking opening a bank account, what's a credit score, taking out a loan, get earning interest. It's the basic elements of financial literacy. So we're now working on that. Probably in the next month or two, I'll be rolling out a seminar where I'll be doing a single 3-hour seminar across I think 5 or 6 modules, kind of just going what existed before Bitcoin? Where did this all come from? What is Bitcoin as the first digital ledger? What is Ethereum for smart contracts? How does that change? Just kind of going through the history.
Exactly, yeah.
The risks, all these different things that, but just from the basic, a STEM class.
Yeah.
You're just teaching the basics of some kind of particular, sciences.
Amazing. You're also involved in a lot of other chains right now. You're doing weekly shows with a modern market. Unfettered, okay? Your honest opinion. What's the state of Polkadot right now? What's it doing well? Where do we need to focus?
I think what it does well,
You think about the 4 functional criteria of religion.
it has generated a community of believers. The second thing is there's a sacred myth. Sacred myth is Gavin. It's the creation of Ethereum. He's going to build something better. Everybody who's been around for 5+ years believed in that mission, believed in that wholeheartedly. In 2020, if you're around and you watch fucking Behind the Code episode 1, you're yo, this motherfucker is building the future and I want in. It was just a different vibe.
This guy dropped out of the Matrix
Dude,
to build this chain.
No, I mean, it's just, anyhow, so the sacred myth, right? Harkening back to a better time. Everybody talks about all-time high and blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
So, sacred myth. Rites and rituals, things that we do, participating in AAG, showing up in a week at a specific time in a day, demarcated for something holy,
Exactly.
sacred.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So these are just other examples, and you always have these
The
various
rituals,
rites
yeah,
and rituals.
absolutely.
That could be things like people bitching on the forum, that's a rite and ritual, right?
For
Or
some,
getting
yeah.
into it in fucking KusDAO because you hit the other button, A or nay, all of that.
Yeah,
Rites
yeah.
and rituals. And then number 4, the thing that holds it all together is community of believers. And if fucking Polkadot has done anything well, it's that. It's created a very dedicated group of individuals who are coming together in a very decentralized way, sometimes having very messy arguments, but they do it because they fucking love each other and what this future possibly could entail.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's the super idealistic philosophical answer I'm gonna give you for the number one thing.
That's a really interesting framework to think about. And the fact that we're
all
hitting,
individual nodes, right? In the network.
the fact that we're hitting these 4 pillars that you just described kind of accidentally is kind of crazy. We could kind of tease out
The
each one of those.
serendipitous musings that erupt from our brains, right?
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, I love it. Okay, so that's what Polkadot's doing well, for sure.
In my mind, and again, I'm biased, right? Because I'm a community-driven guy. I'm a high school
Absolutely.
teacher. What I do in Web3 is the same thing I did in the classroom, which is just create a sense of culture, community, and belonging among random individuals who, to some extent, obviously know each other, but also to another extent don't necessarily like each other. So I think being able to do that has always been my big gift, if you will. So now I'm just trying, that's my favorite thing to do, honestly, in Web3 is just connect people.
All right, so yeah, compliments, laurels, yeah. What's going wrong? What are we missing?
I think, honestly, I've made no bones about it, I think we decentralized everything too early.
Yeah.
I think we have populist governance, we just every token you have that you can amass, that you own, whatever, you get that much of a voting power. The whole it's not a democracy. You're right? Whereas Cardano has built in these sort of elements into their governance that kind of precludes some of these challenges that we have, right?
Yeah.
And the downstream effect of that ultimately is the fact that we then are always trying to find some centralizing theme or narrative that's going to drive the ecosystem as a whole forward. I think that's like a struggle that we continue to repeat again and again and again.
Well, hold on here, but I think what you're narrowing in on is that you kind of have this whole religion lined up, but every religion needs the guy at the pulpit telling people what to think about, what to do.
I mean,
and we've almost been afraid. In fact, decentralization and this whole idealism around it has been a bit of a scapegoat for becoming a leader. There's a lot of people who have leadership qualities, but in a way, it's kind of this excuse. The reason why I'm not doing the hard things, stepping in front of people, saying things that'll make people not like me, is that decentralization, man. I don't want to get too centralized, you know? And I've seen that excuse a lot.
I understand the necessity of it,
Yeah.
but I also don't understand the rigid ideological take that it has to be that way, because there are just some things that work better in a centralized manner.
It doesn't have to be that way.
And yeah, I mean, it's just like there's often a happy medium. But
well, we have this decentralization, right? You can rise up and be a leader and then become corrupted and lose all your, just using it as an example.
Breaking my heart here.
Lose all your reputation, you know, and you know, fall apart. But we can collapse back into this decentralization. We're still good on the bottom, right? Everybody can still carry the water. But yeah, I think it's been a bit of an excuse for people not to rise up.
I still think at the end of the day, you have shadow bags always getting involved and stuff and just doing things that are going to, so like, to your point, maybe we do already still have that sort of centralization and hammer in the background that can be used.
A hammer in the background is not a leader.
Rightly so. Yeah, no, I'm not arguing that it is or it isn't. No, absolutely not. I'm just, but I feel just the constant deliberation, the constant talking, it's just exhausting.
Yeah.
The belief in the ultimate power, very often there is some sort of like avatar or localized version of that, right? For you could argue it's probably still Gavin.
Sure.
And not to, because we're at a Cardano focused conference, it only makes sense to draw the analogy of like, you can say what you want about Cardano, you can say what you want about Charles Hoskinson,
but he's
fucking
avatar.
beating the drum, and he is the avatar.
Yeah.
And it makes a massive difference.
Yeah.
And so like, and I'm not saying Gavin's ever going to be that person, doesn't have to be that person, right?
Well, that's
like,
it, yeah.
It could be somebody else, to your point.
Or it could be multiple people in different verticals, in different domains.
Sure,
right?
like, I mean, that's the dream, right? To get the spending into the hands of bounties that are all run by trusted elected curators, right? Like,
Yeah.
So at least that's a good stopgap measure between, anyhow, like I'm not trying to be all doom and gloom, right?
We're not.
I think
talking
that
through the problem.
because of that community of believers and because of those committed individuals, I think it still has a future. I think what we're going to see is just a lot of pessimism that will have to be fought for a very long time about like the FUD over the price, right? Like that's a very real thing. I personally don't think it'll ever see its all-time high again. Like, I don't think it matters. Or if it does, not in any near future. Let's put it that, maybe 5 years, not sure. Like, I don't know. I'm just like throwing this out there. But I think if Jam proves out to be the thing that like Gavin claims it is, and you're harnessing all the Polkadot power through that, and are able to sell that service and create demand and drive revenues to the protocol, especially if that's all captured by the DOT token itself, then yes, I think fucking Polkadot has a very bright future. But Gavin has always built for things that people solve after the fact, and it only catches the hype then. Like I said this to so many people, Polkadot was so early to so many narratives that are current now. Whether that's L2 scaling and having like everything compiled down to, in that case, ETH mainnet for L2s, but for us, it's the relay chain. And so I think having all that solved in 21, 22, you know, parachains, interoperability, and now we're doing something where Jam is probably 3 to 5 years ahead of where the rest of the current blockchain industry is now. And it's an industry driven and dominated by hype and mindshare. and sentimentality. Like, it's just the sentiment of how the market feels. People are bullish.
Yeah.
Bullish. I feel like I have to throw that in there for Lemo.
I want to just spew some thoughts about the Gab situation. Well, when I say Gab situation, I kind of mean like, I don't know, for me, Gab is kind of like another excuse, you know? Like, there's a lot of people with ideas, and then I hear often like, if Gab just told us what to do, then I would know what to do, and I could fit myself in around it.
No, you're absolutely right. Like, I mean, that's a great counterpoint.
I mean, it would be amazing if, like, Gab was the Charles Hoskinson of Polkadot. Maybe. It would be amazing for some things. But that was good, eh? The difference between Gab and Charles Hoskinson is it seems like Charles wants to be the guy who's beating the drum, right? Like, this drives him. He loves it. He loves streaming every day.
You're right. I mean,
he loves being in the thing, right?
In all the books written about the beginning of Ethereum, like, the reason he was one of the ones kicked out first because he wanted it to be for profit. Like, this dude is a business guy.
Yeah, and he crushes it. He crushes it.
Absolutely, yes.
I mean,
100%.
I don't know. I didn't hear about, like, you know, no shade or anything, but I didn't hear about a mythical on Cardano or anything like this, right? They have this incredible religion of Cardano, and they're still working it out. They're still finding an opportunity to get the big hits, right?
One of the nice, like, commonalities, I think, was that you can, I think that ecosystems that have enough of a community of those believers will continue to, I think everybody's best interest is aligned insofar as wanting to find a way forward in a decentralized system and manner. And they're continuing to evolve and iterate just like we are, which I think is very encouraging.
Absolutely.
Again, at the end of the day, I'm still, hopeful.
But here's the thing.
Especially
Gab,
because of the community.
despite not being this Jesus figure, basically, this avatar, he's still throwing out incredible ideas, actionable ideas.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
No, I can't take that away.
And what we need is people to step in leadership positions and take them on. He kind of lays out like the playbook all the time. And for the last few years, he's laid out a vision, and then it kind of ekes its way through parody, and then, parody starts churning and does its thing and gets out this next vision, core time finally coming to fruition a couple years later and all this stuff like that. But there's a whole bunch of ideas he lays out that, you can pick up, and anybody who wants to step up and take the risk of getting people to hate them or saying things that people don't like, taking on all the burden that a leader has to take on. We need people who's just willing to do that.
Oh, no.
You don't think it's possible? You don't think it's possible?
It's not that I don't think it's possible. I think that there's one thing that in a lot of the decentralization idealism that we like to discuss and talk about,
Decentralization
is
idea?
that just like religion, just like politics, there's human beings involved.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be fucking messy. Like, you get egos in the way, you get people like that. I'm not saying that doesn't make it impossible. I'm not saying that. But it just makes it unnecessarily hard. And I think that there's a sense in which, for some, the wise man may stay out of politics or even being on Twitter or being vocal or being seen or whatever, because it's just bullshit at the end of the day. Like, in the grand cosmic scheme of things, and I know I'm like, this is not where we intend to take things, like, but it just doesn't fucking matter, man. Like, it's just
okay. Yeah, but we have to get things done.
no, sure. Like, but I'm just saying, like, I mean, the would-be leaders are the people that you don't necessarily want in those positions, and the people who are reluctant to do so, right, are the ones that, can you really fault them for not wanting to be involved, right? Because of the current state of play, because of the constant talk and argumentative nature of everything and trying to get it done. And
Okay, it's not suited for everybody.
no,
Let me ask you a question. Hypothetical, okay?
yeah,
You had the talent behind you, you had the funding behind you, and you didn't give a shit what people thought. What problem or what issue would you tackle? What would you build
honestly,
Yeah.
and this is going to be a very selfish answer. Very, very selfish
Maybe it should
answer.
be. Go ahead.
Watching the last election
Yeah.
was, and because I'm involved in like politics and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
lobbying and advocating and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
and as just a genuine believer and committed American citizen, like watching the last election was so fucking ridiculous because the way that mainstream media drags out the results and takes forever because we got to count this, we got to count that, and it's like, it is 2025, bitches. Like, if anybody has the throughput and capacity to build a voting system, why couldn't it be Polkadot?
That's a
right?
fucking
Like,
brilliant idea.
And not only that, like, because of Kilt Tech, you have DIDs already that exist.
Yeah, yeah.
You can issue that to citizens. You can have fucking voting on blockchain, and it's open for however long. Leave it open. I'm sure you could set the parameters because the fucking SDK is so flexible, right? Like, you do all that shit, and you let people vote, and you can match hashes to like voter IDs on the back end or whatever, and then you have fair, transparent results, like in a matter of whatever the window is, the final day, like those 12 hours, like you have instantaneous results. Like, what is all this bullshit making me wait up till midnight because I'm on the fucking East Coast for some other shit to happen? Like,
Yeah.
nah, fuck that.
Let's go back and forth a few rounds here, all right? Let's name people in the ecosystem who are the strong leaders. Maybe they haven't, put on the yoke yet, but maybe they have the potential to, and we'd be happy to see it.
There's probably many people I might not mention who are probably worthy of being on this list, so please do not take any of this personally.
One at a time.
I'm just gonna just riff and whatever pops in my head may
for it,
come
go
up.
for it.
So, I mean, you know who I'm gonna pick first, Lemo.
Lemo.
It's no fucking doubt, right? It's easy.
What's his specialty?
I think he has a rabid, conviction in the whole teal government. Like,
Yeah,
he
he
wants as much hate and shade KusDAO gets.
Yeah.
We literally voted for him to take over.
Yeah.
Like, as king of KusDAO for I forget how long it was, a day or a week or whatever, and he just basically decided who had what role
Reorganized,
for what.
yeah.
Reorganized and cleaned house. And even though I bitched because I wasn't a DAO's contributor, at the end of the day, I'm like, you know what, I'm too busy anyhow. Like, I'm cool with the governance role. I vote, I share my opinion, I do my duty in KusDAO.
Yeah.
It has evolved so much in the 4 years since it started, right? A great deal of which has to do with Lemo, even though he wouldn't take credit for it or say he's just one of many, which he is, but he is, I would say at this point, the heartbeat of maybe not only KusDAO, but certainly the ecosystem among that community of believers, right? Like, I think
Love
there's
it.
a willing recognition that, and Lemo will downplay it.
I know. That's the thing about all these great leaders, right? They're not
they're
anchoring
humble.
to get in. Yeah,
They're
they're humble.
humble.
They're humble. All right. Nice one. I got Bill Laboon.
Oh, dude, Bill's the fucking goat. Like, you want me to just riff on the people you
No,
named?
no. I got it.
Explain why Bill.
So,
But yeah, love Bill.
very
Who doesn't love
similar to
Bill?
Lemo, right?
Yeah.
Very humble. All right. He's kind of hasn't been in the shadows. Obviously, he's been a forward-facing man, but always in the guise of helping people who are kind of on the edges. He's always active in on Reddit, for instance, which I never go on. Right. He's always kind of helping people, raising people up, shuffling them into the core. You know what I mean?
He's a teacher.
He's
an educator. I'm telling you,
yeah,
this
that's
is what
right.
we
He's
do.
correct.
It's what the best of us do.
That's right. I'm really excited about this new role that he stepped into at the Web3 Foundation. President of the ecosystem
Oh,
is
yeah.
his new role, right?
Oh, he's Prez.
President of ecosystem.
Oh my gosh, Bill, I'm so sorry. I was telling people you were Vice Prez. I am terribly sorry.
If
President.
he's vice pres, and maybe I have that wrong, he should be pres.
No, either which way.
Who would be
I am
above?
glad
I
he
think he's
has a title now that's befitting of his legacy.
And he's taken on this, I would say, really difficult responsibility of figuring out how to take these 10 million DOT and inject them into the Kusama ecosystem. I think this is so wild. You know about that?
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was just thinking of Bill as, and I was gonna say Zen Master or Roshi, but that's maybe too rough around the edges for Bill. But
Okay.
his calm demeanor, I think is one thing that I appreciate. I'm sorry, I'm not meaning to
Go ahead,
take it,
go
but
ahead.
wherever you see him communicate with others, he very rarely expresses any kind of frustration, even though he may be answering the same question for like the 15th time or 50th time or whatever.
Sure.
He's always so nice. Like he is.
Yeah.
Bill is our Mr. Rogers.
Bill's Mr. Rogers, and I hope, because he's got a really strong vision for Kusama as the helper of Polkadot can be so much more than the lab network, the place where we test things out. I hope Bill can keep pushing, even at the risk of ruffling feathers. I hope he can keep pushing this vision of Kusama and make it something that, you know, we all think it can be, with the privacy and everything like that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, hats off to Bill.
All right, who else you got?
This is probably recency bias and anchor effect because I just talked to him.
We're gonna miss people. We already know we're gonna miss people.
But Sten Bergman, Daniel.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, what's he got?
I think I didn't even realize until the other day, like how many layers deep OG that motherfucker is, until like I had him talk to the global state guys, right? Because I just figured like we're expanding and I wanted, you know, knowing he has a very specific gift and skill set. If you don't know his backstory, which I think he willingly shares, he certainly shared with us, right? Like he goes all the way back to the very beginning of Bitcoin, like 2010, like that level of cypherpunk IT guy gets interested in crypto.
Yeah.
Like very early, and has touched every aspect of it and has developed an absolutely incredible network of people in the industry that he can touch within a single call or a ping or whatever. He's very gifted for something that I think I'm good at, is putting people together. Like that's he just has a natural affinity of like, oh, hey, you know so-and-so, you know so-and-so, you guys should talk because I think there's something here.
Yeah.
Right? It's invaluable. Like you can't put a price on that.
Sure.
And it's earned over time, like social reputation, who you are, how people know you, how you're recognized in the community, beyond your community, whatever. Like any other good person on this list has probably connections to other ecosystems.
Yeah.
Whether because of the nature of their work, like in the case of Lemo, right? Like what, you know, Nova Sama is building, or Daniel, just for having been around for a long time and worked in a lot of different sectors of the industry. Mm-hmm. So having those deep sort of cypherpunk roots, but still caring about Polkadot enough to like stick around and try and help it thrive, like all those things I think are incredible pieces for why he absolutely is on the list.
Oh yeah, amazing. Okay, this one, I mean, he is in a leadership role, and I'm enjoying him coming out more and more because he's pretty new to the ecosystem. He's not deep Polkadot. This is Pierre from Parity. All right, Pierre from Parity. He comes from Google, right? And he's got this really interesting look at basically massive compute systems that need to be synced up and on the same page, dealing with like serious clients, Google, serious clients. We're talking about latency. We're talking about making sure that the tech stack at the very bottom makes sense for the people who are using it. And then not only that, but building services on top of the tech stack that are useful to people. I interviewed him when he first kind of got into Parity. He was like 3 months in or something like that. And it was like, what's going on? What do you think about all this? But lately, he's really driving Parity to become this company that's serving users. It's serving a market that could possibly serve, not just creating technology that may or may not be useful, but trying to take what we have today with Polkadot and actually bringing it up to snuff with massive global centralized systems. And what I'm really enjoying about Pierre lately, and it's slow because he has this massive organization, he has to get marching in the same line, but slowly this vision of his is leaking out and it's becoming something accessible and actionable even outside of Parity. I'm hoping that Pierre can build more respect and reputation so that the ecosystem can be more mobilized around his vision of something that's marketable, something that's useful beyond just like a grand philosophy of Polkadot. And I don't think he's cutting corners on the idealism of Web3 by any means. I think he's trying to make it useful. And I'm really enjoying watching him work and learning more about what he's doing.
James Slusser.
Damn you! All right.
I think not enough of the OGs that have been around for 4 or 5 years respect him enough. This is just my opinion, but like I think James is highly involved in every way possible. I think the things that he's trying to accomplish in Florida are meaningful.
Yeah.
He's always showing up at events, always extolling the virtues of Polkadot. The man has a singular focus.
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder
just-
with James, like why? Why is he taking
people
so
look
hard?
at him as maybe because, like, at least in my mind, James only really was very active, like, and I forget when he went to the PBA. So maybe this also correlates with him being a PBA graduate,
Yeah.
whatever. But James is like a dev, a marketer, like
marketer.
Kurkama is a development agency. Like, I mean, this guy was doing Solidity shit, like real stuff, like building apps and whatever. And he goes to PBA, and then he goes all in on Polkadot. He does not get enough credit for what he has done or continues to do.
Yeah.
And again, I'm biased because I'm American, I'm Floridian, like I work in the same state as him, but as someone who has whatever social cachet that I do in Polkadot, I've advocated for him to be included in other dialogues that they clearly just haven't happened yet. And I'm like, why? Like, why is this the case? So yeah, I think James is sort of if I'm gonna put in a third underrated agent, like on the list of people who probably need to be paying attention to, respect, and has a lot of leadership qualities, it's James.
Damn, okay. I was gonna say James as well.
Doubly counts for James.
Yeah. I want to draw attention to Angie Dalton. What I love about Angie Dalton, what I wish I saw in more people, was she just does her own thing. She doesn't give a fuck about, well, she probably
It's
does.
unflappable. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, she probably cares a lot. But it seems like she's just so confident in everything she's doing, right? And she brings various people to the same table and then makes wild things happen. I think a lot of people kind of question, maybe similar to James, kind of don't see the whole vision that she has going. They don't really understand why she works the way she does, but you can't argue with the results. You can't argue with the opportunities that she hops on that probably nobody else
I met
would
Kathy
go for.
Wood because of Angie.
Well, you met Kathy Wood because of her, didn't you?
Yeah.
Right? And like, she's got all these people on, in her contacts on her phone who she brings together. It's totally phenomenal. Like what she did with the games bounty, for instance, investing treasury funds into this like Roblox game for this like wild vision down the road with Roblox while making money for the treasury at the same time. Like this is the sort of boldness that I would love to see a whole lot more. But if you just talked about it, if you said, "Oh, I got this because I have this 3-year plan," everybody would just shoot you down. She doesn't give a fuck. She just goes and executes on her vision, and then we get to reap the rewards of her contribution to the ecosystem. It's incredible.
She's, like I said, unflappable. She just very even-keeled.
Yeah.
Very business-oriented. Doesn't take anything personally.
Yeah.
Very professional.
Yeah.
No, 100%.
It's cool, man. Well, it's been very interesting having a little break with you. That was a crazy conference. I don't know how you do it. You do this a lot. You go to the conferences, you work in the booth.
I don't know how I do it either.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I fucking do not know how I do it.
It's
Erin says it all the time. Like, she just describes me as a hurricane of energy. Like, I God love her. Like, my wife is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, she'll tell you, like, there are certain things I suck at laundry, like, and I just will, like, throw my sweaty clothes on the floor, and, like, I mean, I'm just a fucking hurricane, like, all the time. Like,
I
gotta
see.
go to this, get to this meeting, record this video, put the captions in, upload it to Twitter. Like, I mean, it's just,
I
like,
know, man.
non-fucking stop.
Yeah. Well, we need that sort of energy in the ecosystem.
Oh, wait, we gotta share before we leave. I had nicotine for the first time in like 20 years, thanks to homie over here, with the nicotine gum, half a Nicorette, and I had the craziest head rush. I had to sit down at the bar yesterday.
Well, no, we had a good time here. We behaved really well.
Considering we were just given a gift of coming here
Yeah.
as the Polkadot ecosystem, like, couldn't have done it better with you. Shout out to John, to Charlie, phenomenal.
Huge,
like,
yeah.
Cameron coming in to do the talk, like, all of it's so good.
Amazing.
Would love to come back next year. They offered us to come back. I think they're trying to expand it and turn it into a broad crypto conference.
Yeah.
I'll be excited to get away from the debauchery of Vegas and cigars and, whatever, but we definitely had a good time. Very, very productive, I think, for Polkadot in terms of establishing new connections and meeting new nodes and growing the network, right?
Hell yeah, man. Thanks very much for everything, everything you do with
anytime.
AAG and everything like that, and for coming on the show.
Always, bro.